I'd got to a point where I'd smoked for almost, maybe even slightly over half my life, and smoking had completely taken over my life. It occupied a lot of my thoughts. I was constantly on edge, jittery, to the extent that it was causing anxiety and even a mild depression. You know, some smaller things. I know my family didn't like the smell, and yeah, they were very keen for me to stop. I also have two teenage children, and I would be mortified if they ever smoke, and I felt like my words were empty asking them not to, so I needed to lead by example. And I got to the point where I needed up to 4 cigarettes a day before I could really function and start my day. And honestly, I needed to quit, I had to quit. Livewell was very important in my stop process, and the appointments were very easy to arrange down at the Derby arena for myself. My Livewell advisor, Anthony, I met with him every couple of weeks. I used patches during my stop for the first 8 to 10 weeks. I also used chewing gum and lozenges as well during the stop process. But the most important part of the Livewell process was the accountability to Anthony. And every couple of weeks from the start, I had a carbon monoxide test, and it was really important for me to have the accountability to see my carbon monoxide levels go back down to that of a non-smoker during the stop process. I contacted Livewell. The major driver for doing that was I'd got to the point where I no longer knew how to stop smoking. So I booked my appointment online, and I met with Anthony, who's my Livewell advisor, and I sat down and I was really anticipating what I call a magic formula, the piece of advice that was going to help me to stop. And one of the first questions Anthony asked me was, what do I want? And to start with, I didn't really understand what he meant by that, but then I really realised that what Livewell could offer me was practical help and guidance, and actually it was going to be my own motivation that was going to help me to stop smoking, and that Livewell could support me with the patches and the lozenges, which would save a lot of money, and also the accountability with the carbon monoxide testing. One of the biggest motivators for me in stopping was that I've always liked my sport, but you know, gradually with my increasing smoking levels, I realised I couldn't keep up with my friends, particularly on the hills when cycling. So that's definitely one of the biggest pluses for me, is that I can now really enjoy. I am enjoying getting out on my bike more, and I'm not scared of the hills anymore. Probably as a family we've saved 150, £200 a month, but for me time was more important than money. So as a result of stopping smoking, I've been able to work a 4-day week for the last year or so, and spending more time doing activities that I enjoy, and also with my family. So spending a lot more time on the bike, for example. My girls tell me that my teeth are whiter, my complexion is better, and the smell is much improved. So they're all good benefits. I just feel much more relaxed and a much more calmer person in myself. So one of my regrets is that I didn't do this sooner. It's definitely important not to try and do this on yourself, and contact somebody like the Livewell team. The patches that were supplied to me by the Livewell team were very crucial, but the most important thing was the accountability I had with Livewell, and the 2 weekly visits for support, and again the carbon monoxide testing. I did have an e-cigarette during only the first week of my stop to help with the cravings only in the evening, so I used that once a day, but my intention was not to get a new addiction, so I no longer use that after the first week. I recommend a book, How to Stop Smoking by Alan Carr, and there's a lot of good tips in there and a lot of key points. Recommend saving the money that you would normally spend on cigarettes, and then treating yourself at key milestones at the end of the first day, at the end of the first week, and the end of the first month, and hopefully at the end of the first year. The key learning point for me, and the key tip is don't doubt your own determination. The Livewell team can help you on a practical level, but ultimately you realise that your own strength and determination is the most important thing in your stop process.